This man has a singular advantage over other men. Ben Richards is immune to every known disease, including old age. Periodic transfusions of his blood can give other men a second, a third lifetime, perhaps more.
Find Ben Richards.
The effects of a transfusion are only temporary. I must therefore control Ben Richards' life permanently.
He's the most valuable man in the world, but he's no good to me dead.
His brother may have the same kind of blood. We've got to find him before Richards does.
If you had $1 million blood, where would you hide?
I didn't ask for this. I was a test driver. I liked the job. One day the doctor told me I had some kind of special blood. I don't understand it. But I know this. Everything they're offering, I don't want. I gotta live free.
Ben Richards will live longer than anyone has ever lived. But a transfusion to the wrong man could make him a prisoner for all time. And so he runs from the hunters, the human hounds who would cage him.
That's what he said.
You're kidding.
Don't be ridiculous, Isabel. You're in no position to
Oh, hi. There's some beer on. It's really cold.
No, I think I'll just have something to eat.
A word of advice? Forget the beef stew.
That's what I was gonna order.
I've been in the kitchen. You haven't. Forget it.
Okay, what's good?
I think the chicken fought back a little.
I'll take it.
Comes with hash browns, and the coffee's hot and strong and pretty good.
All right, I'll take it all. Oh, there was a family around here named Richards. Do they still live here?
Oh, they moved away about 10 years ago. It's funny. You're the second person in the last week that's asked about them.
Then I'll make it worth your while to be a fool.
I've seen this picture a dozen times.
I want something in writing.
There's got to be something on that's not older than both of us.
I'm not talking about miracles. Just advanced medical science.
The chicken will be ready in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Still sounds like a miracle to me, Dr. Custer. If your research is correct, it is. And I don't need confirmation from my distinguished colleagues either, because I don't have any colleagues. I work alone. And I know my own lab results. The aging process is, in reality, a lessening of the oxygen transport system in the blood. If this can be controlled, the aging process can be stabilized, possibly even reversed. Dr. Costa, then what you're really talking about is immortality. Yes, you could say that. Now, we know that
You better be
hemoglobin
careful. They got to drop a net on him.
And my experiments have proven that.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hold it. And since Leeuwenhoek first
We just took a
described
vote,
corpuscles in
and it came up boxing.
we have known that.
Maybe some of us would like to improve our minds once in a while.
For tonight, we brought you the views of Dr. Walter Costa. Not views, facts. Facts backed by research.
All right. Who is he?
The name's Costa. Dr. Walter Costa.
Yes, but I've never heard of him.
He runs a non-profit clinic.
Crackpot?
Perhaps, but a genius at the same time.
Doctor, does it make any sense to you, this thing he said about, what was it, the oxygen transport system of the blood.
Yes, it's the hemoglobin. It occurs only in the red blood cells and does the actual transporting of the oxygen. If only there was some way we could keep those cells young, keeping them from deteriorating, I dare say that theoretically we could stop the aging process, or at least slow it down.
In your opinion, is there a chance this man, Coster, is on the right track? Is it possible that he could be successful?
Yes, it is possible that he could be.
Then get him here. You know how to go about it. I want him where I can control him.
I'll do what I can.
Now. This man, Coster, finds that kind of a process in my laboratory. You know who it'll belong to, don't you, Mr. Fletcher?
Yes, sir. You.
Precisely. Which means I'll have no further interest in Ben Richards.
Mr. Maitland, unless you intend to make a gift of this discovery to the whole world, I know quite a few people who will be very interested in Ben Richards.
Plain stupidity. Can't you keep this junk away from where the kids can't get it?
She's a climber, Doctor. I put things up high.
Of all the dumb things. As if there isn't enough to do around here. And you swallow any more of those pills, and you're not only going to be very sick, but very dead.
Thank you, Doc. I don't know how to say.
Never mind the drivel. Mr. Ramon. And keep that medicine cabinet locked up. You old fraud. You're going to bury us all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess hospitals are no safer than any place else.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to see Dr. Coster.
Come on. All right. What's your name and what's your problem? Not necessarily in that order.
Well, like I said, I'm looking for Dr. Coster.
You're talking to her.
No. Dr. Walter Coster.
Ann's the name. My father's busy. You'll have to put yourself in my hands.
Well, I'm not a patient.
Okay. I give up. What are you?
I'm looking for a job.
As what?
Anything. Anything at all.
You don't look like the type of man who'd want to mop floors and empty bedpans.
That's the nicest thing I've heard all day. Doctor, I do need a job.
I don't suppose you have any references. And you don't feel like telling me any more about yourself?
No.
How about a name?
Wyatt, Frank Wyatt.
Okay, Frank. You're hired. Dark secret and all. Don't ask me why.
You want to know why? Because you're kind and generous.
Of course. That's it.
Here, what do you think you're doing? That's 7 months' work.
I was just trying to straighten up.
Who are you?
I'm the new handyman.
Since when?
Your daughter hired me this morning.
Oh? What do you know about laboratory work?
Nothing.
Good. In that case, you can stay. As long as you're not an expert.
Didn't I see you on that TV show the other night?
Yes?
And all that stuff you said, is that true?
I didn't make any claims to anything. All I said was, I'm researching the oxygen transport system in the blood.
Well, I heard something about immortality. Is that possible?
Yes?
Well, I wish you luck, because the man that finds is going to be a millionaire overnight.
That's all you people think of, money.
Oh, this is in the corpuscles of the blood.
Yes, but only the red ones. Those are the cells that actually transport the oxygen. Now, the aging process creates the deterioration, which... What am I wasting my time talking to you for? I have work to do. And so do you. Get out. Go clean somewhere where it needs to be cleaned.
Father, Dr. Paul Hubner is here to see you.
Dr. Hubner! Yes, I read your paper on parasitic filariasis of the blood. There are some good things in it.
Well, thank you. Coming from you, I consider that a great compliment.
But you're wrong about the long-term effects.
Perhaps. So far, my research confirms...
It's wrong. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
But, Father, Dr. Hubner came 2,000 miles just to talk to you.
Okay, talk.
Thank you. I don't mean to seem presumptuous. I know you're very busy here, but I'd hoped we could go back to your office.
Why? Why? What's so important about it? We can't talk about it right here.
Father, Dr. Hubner wants to give you $1 million.
Not I, the National Research Foundation. It's the first time we've ever voted anything unanimously. The entire board is tremendously impressed with your research on blood fibrin. So impressed that we voted a $1 million research grant for you to extend your experiments.
I don't want your grant. Because I don't want all the strings that are attached to it.
The money is yours to use in any way you see fit.
Here, in my own laboratory?
The Foundation's laboratory is one of the best equipped facilities in the world. I should think you'd want to work there.
Aha! The first of a dozen compromises. No, my work is here in my own clinic, treating my own patients, doing my own work in my own laboratory.
Well, you have done some amazing work here. But the time comes in any research project when you need help. Imagine what you could accomplish with the Foundation's money behind you in a modern laboratory with as many research assistants as you need.
Now, what about the Foundation experts looking over my shoulder, second-guessing me?
I promise there'll be no interference of any kind.
No. No, I don't work with research assistants. I don't need them, or a fancy laboratory. I work alone. And what about my patients? Who's going to take care of them? I wasted enough time around here. I've got rounds to finish. But, Doctor, you stay for dinner. I want to tell you where you went wrong with your filariasis paper.
Find some company?
Tired? I'll teach you to volunteer.
And I'm about to do it again. I'm ready to try something new.
Sure, what'd you have in mind?
What I came here to do in the first place.
I was wondering when you were going to get around to that. Whatever it is.
Well, I came here because I thought maybe your father could help me. But I had to be sure at first that I could trust him. And now I'm sure I can.
He'll be thrilled.
He's working on hemoglobin deterioration, right? There is none in mine. It's true. If he can analyze the structure of my blood, then maybe he could recreate it and save us both a lot of time.
That's not possible. If it were true, then you wouldn't age.
I don't.
Are you serious? You're not joking, are you?
No joke. Everything I've said is true. And there's one way you can prove it. Put a sample of my blood under a microscope.
Here I spent over 20 years of my life trying to find the factor in blood that will stop the aging process. And someone just gets born with it.
Couldn't have turned down $1 million grant.
He did. There's some medical men dedicated only to research.
Offer him $2 million. If that isn't enough, raise it to $5 million.
I'm afraid you don't understand, Mr. Maitland. It won't work. He doesn't have a price, as some of the rest of us do.
Everyone can be bought.
I quite agree. Either bought or persuaded in some other way. Shall I have a go at this doctor for you?
No, no. You get me to him. And I'll show you how it's done. Now, you handle it.
Now, if that doesn't help, I want you to come right back, understand?
Busy day today.
It always is. It's your fault I have to handle it alone this morning. My father has been locked in his lab all night. Because of you, he's found new enthusiasm.
He didn't seem discouraged to me.
But 20 years without a breakthrough is a long time. There's still today's patients. Want to help?
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Vega, you direct traffic. I'll do magic. How are you? Just sit right over there. First some vitamins, and then I'll take a look at you. Vitamins should be absorbed slowly. So you have to be sure to inject them into the muscles, not into the vein. Just the opposite is true for a medication you want to work quickly. Like a sedative. All right, Mrs. Vega. You can change now. And you.
I spent half the night analyzing your blood structure, and the other half duplicating it synthetically. I've just injected the rabbits with the synthetic strain.
Well, if it works, maybe man will have another best friend.
I'm trying to save the world, and you're making jokes.
Don't you think it would be a step in the right direction if you got some sleep?
I've seen you look a little livelier, too. How are things going at the clinic?
Standing room only, same as usual. There's some flu going around, and Nita Vega is about to add to the population explosion, and George Pappas dislocated his shoulder again.
Same one as before?
Yes.
I'll take a look at it.
I already said it.
I'd still want to take a look.
Father, will you get some rest before you drop in your tracks?
All right. I'll make a deal with you. I'll get some sleep if you'll make sure that she gets a nice, pleasant, restful afternoon somewhere away from here.
Deal.
Good. First, I want to take a look at George Pappas' shoulder.
Now, where'd you learn to cook so good?
Doesn't take much talent to fry a chicken. You must be very hungry. Who are you running away from, Frank? A wife? A girlfriend? Maybe 2 wives.
Doctor, I'm surprised at you.
No, you're not. Do you know how many women you're going to kiss before you're through? Oh, 2,999,000.
And one.
Let's get back to the original question. Who are you running away from, Frank?
Well, first, my name's not Frank. It's Ben. Ben Richards. Hi. The man's name is Arthur Maitland that's after me.
Maitland? You mean...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. He wants to live forever.
Yeah, doesn't everyone?
Depends on who you're living with.
I'm sure it doesn't matter to Maitland.
Just doesn't make sense. The largest blood transfusion you can give would be a pint. Maybe a little more, but it wouldn't work.
But it does work. For a while. And then he has to come back for more.
I have an idea. I could go to Washington. Once the health authorities see your blood analysis, then they won't let them touch you.
I wish you were right, but once they come face to face with it, I'm sure they'll react like, well, an army of Maitlands.
You know how I'd react?
How would you react?
Favorably.
Private rooms, auxiliary switchboard, teletype machines, impossible.
But this is no ordinary patient, Doctor. This is Arthur Maitland.
I don't care who it is. No one is coming in here and upsetting the routine of my clinic.
Even a man who desperately needs your help.
A lot of people need help, and everyone is equally entitled. Oh, if I have room enough in the wards, I'll do what I can.
In a ward? Doctor, as I told you before, we're talking about Arthur Maitland.
I know. And I'm getting very tired of talking about Arthur Maitland.
Dr. Custer.
Yes?
I'm Arthur Maitland.
I know. I've read a newspaper once or twice.
Dr. Hubner has told me of the amazing work you do here. I hope you'll be able to help me.
I'll do what I can. We've never turned a patient away yet.
It's good to know there are still some dedicated men in medicine.
If people like you would stop throwing their money around, there might be even more.
Yes, perhaps you're right.
There may be a bed available in Ward 3.
Ward? Didn't you tell him what I need?
Yes, he told me, but he needn't have bothered. We do not have private rooms in this clinic. And you cannot have telephones or teletype machines bothering my other patients either.
Doctor, I have a business to conduct.
And conduct it somewhere else.
Doctor, you'd better know that
Oh, you better know. After I've examined you, if I decide you're to be admitted, it will be on my terms, not yours.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
I'll take a look at you as soon as I can.
Well, it looks like we were wrong about Dr. Costa, doesn't it? He doesn't seem to have a price after all.
You still have something to learn about buying people, Mr. Fletcher. Some purchases are harder than others. And I haven't even begun to bargain yet.
It was a lovely day. Too bad reality always lurks around the corner. New patient in Ward 3. We'll just take a minute while I have a look. Want to keep me company?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is it?
It's all right, Mr. Maitland. Go back to sleep.
Ben Richards.
Please, Mr. Maitland, there's no one there.
It was Ben Richards. I know his face just as well as I know my own.
You were sleeping, and you're dreaming.
I saw him. I could have sworn I saw him. Oh, Dr. Coster?
Oh, I was just going to look for you. I need another sample of your blood. Look at them. They're thriving on the synthetic strain I injected into them.
That man Maitland in Ward 3, I'd like to...
Whatever it is can wait till morning. I must make a cross-check. I'm so close now I can't stop for anything.
Ben, you can't leave. The experiments are too critical now.
Maitland saw me. I've got to get out of here.
He was half asleep. He thought he was dreaming. I've given him a sedative. There is no danger to you now. Oh, please, Ben. If my father is successful, then Maitland won't have to hunt you anymore.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is the young lady I was telling you about. She was in my dream, too. That's all it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
A very vivid dream. Ben Richards standing right there in that doorway. That needle has a pretty dull point, doesn't it?
I'm sorry.
What are you so nervous about?
Well, we don't have such important patients here every day. That injection should help. Try to get some rest. You'll be sent in for your vascular study as soon as there's a room available.
Thank you.
Dr. Costa. Don't let Mr. Maitland bother you. He's so used to having things his own way, he just gets upset when he doesn't. It's strange, isn't it? The dreams that old men have.
I don't know. I've never been an old man. What do you really want?
Me? Nothing. The facts don't really concern me. I function more on instinct.
What are you leading up to?
Well, I'd like to talk some more about dreams. I think that there are more to them than most people think, don't you?
So did Sigmund Freud.
About Mr. Maitland's dream. It was a dream, was it?
Of course, I'm sure it was.
Then Ben Richards is not around here somewhere.
I don't know any Ben Richards. Excuse me, I have more rounds to make.
George! Seal this place off. No one in or out that we don't know about, okay? Let's take a look around and see what we can find.
Who said you could come in here?
Oh, I thought perhaps I might... What happened?
The rabbits are dead. That's what happened. And yesterday I was sure they would live forever.
Oh, that's quite interesting. What made you think that?
I duplicated some special blood. synthesized it. Or at least, I tried.
Who's special blood?
What difference does it make? I tried and I failed.
Well, what do you do now?
Start all over again. Try to find out where I went wrong.
It has occurred to me, Doctor, that you may not have that many years left. You may never complete your experiments. Alone, that is. Now, that grant from the National Research Foundation is still yours, if you want it.
You mean Maitland's National Research Foundation, don't you?
What difference does it make? The sick don't ask whose dollars find the cure. With the Foundation's money and equipment and personnel, you can find your mistakes in months, not years.
I don't want to think about it. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to be left alone.
You have to think about it. What man has ever come so close to such a fantastic discovery? Do you have any idea how many scientists would jump at the chance I'm offering you? It should be the dream of every medical man on Earth. His own kind of personal immortality.
There would be no supervision, no interference?
I wouldn't presume to tell you how to conduct your research. You make the rules. All but one.
And what would that be?
It would be more a condition than a rule. It would be a favor I'd ask of you.
Yes?
Dr. Custer? Has Ann told you about Maitland?
Yes, she did.
Well, his men are looking for me all over the place. I need your help to get out of here. Doctor? Doctor?
All right. The experiment failed. But I'm not giving up.
Of course not.
I've been thinking about that National Research Foundation grant. I've decided to take it. Dr. Hubner was right. How could a man accomplish anything in a place like this? Not enough room, no decent equipment.
It was good enough for 20 years.
That's just it. It's 20 years too long. It is the right decision. I know it is.
What about the patients, Father?
No problem. A couple of GPs will be able to handle the practice with no trouble. Most of the cases are routine anyhow.
Doctor, I'd appreciate any kind...
Ben!
Thank you, Doctor.
I'm sorry, Ben. But you won't be harmed, I promise you that. And you'll be very comfortable. With the specimens of your blood to work with, I'll have the conclusions very soon. I'm sure of it. Don't you understand, Ben? After this is over, you'll never have to run again. You'll be free forever.
How could you? How could you help them?
Anne, listen to me. I can duplicate his blood. I know I can.
You're as ruthless as they are. Nothing matters to you except your experiments. Nothing. Not even a man's life.
I can't think of just one man's life. I'm concerned with millions of lives. And please don't make it any harder for me than it is. They promised me he'd be safe, and they have a comfortable place all ready for him.
Oh, I've seen how comfortable they've made him.
I only need him for a few months, a year at the most. Once I have all the answers, he'll be free.
And what if you don't find the answers? Then he'll be caged like an animal for the rest of his life, long after we're dead.
Yeah, you've done a good job. You're going to be a very rich young man.
Thank you, Mr. Maitland.
Where's Richard?
In Costa's office.
Get him ready.
I'm sorry, Ben. I know being sorry isn't enough.
That's all right. Wasn't your fault.
It'll all be for the best, I'm sure of it.
I hope you're right.
And at the same time, you'll be helping a lot of others.
Yeah. Especially Arthur Maitland.
Mr. Maitland is ready for his transfusion. Prepare our friend, would you please?
I'll give him something that'll make him easier to handle. But I cannot do it with a straitjacket on. Barbital. This won't hurt. No more than a vitamin shot.
How long will it take?
He'll be out in 10 or 15 seconds.
Keep this place locked up until I get back.
Help me get him back in the chair.
Starting to feel groggy. You sure you missed the vein?
Yes, but that just slows it down a little. The drug is already working its way into your bloodstream.
How long do I have?
Well, it's already started to take effect. In a few minutes, you'll be out of it. Now, listen to me, Ben. I'll meet you in the alley with the ambulance. Maitland's men will be looking for you. They'll know you've been drugged. You've got to be steady. You can't even so much as stagger, or they'll stop you.
Okay.
Where's Ben Richards?
Away from here by now.
You'll let him escape.
Yes, but what difference does it make? There's nothing you can do about it now.
Oh, can't I? You can kiss this fire trap goodbye.
Oh, you're not going to close me down because I'm not going to let you. I'm starting my experiments all over again. And with Ben Richards, where you can't put your hands on him, you better pray that this time I'm successful. Because, Mr. Maitland, you don't look as if you have that much time left. And that's a professional opinion.
They'll be watching the bus depot in the airport, so my best bet is to hitch a ride.
He got away safely, Mr. Fletcher. He's gone now.
For the moment. And as a result of that foolish gesture, your father's lost the opportunity for a major medical discovery. He could have been a great man if you hadn't been a sentimental fool.
My father is a great man. And I'm a sentimental fool.
Over Ben Richards. There's no future in it, you know. We will run him down.
Maybe. And maybe my father will discover how to reproduce the immortality in Ben's blood. That puts you out of a job, Mr. Fletcher. And that would free Ben so that he could stop running. And maybe come back.